Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, just got off Peacock with WWE Royal Rumble, one of the big four pay-per-views, or premium live events that WWE puts on. Always one of those, you don't know what you're going to see kind of nights. We've had a lot of those surprises over the years. The women's Royal Rumble match, yeah. I would say two huge shockers and two kind of predictive shockers. The men's, really two people are like, oh, okay. One we kind of knew was probably more likely going to be there. There wasn't that, oh my god moment like in the women's. I'm going to start with the men's actually. It was a main event. So we had the Usos start out 1 and 2, which I kind of liked. That builds up for them to have a match at WrestleMania. Jay and Jimmy, this is the first time they've kind of matched off since Jay left for Monday Night Raw. One weird dynamic this Rumble had. Of the 30 in the Rumble, 7 came from SmackDown, 3 were unbranded, 2 from NXT, and 18 from Raw. Once the 20th person got eliminated, everyone else was nothing but Raw. It was literally a Raw Royal Rumble match. Andrade came on at 4. That was really the big we kind of knew it was happening, but hey, what got me was his intro said Andrade El Idolo. I'm like, what? And then they just said Andrade, so I'm like, that's interesting. Carmelo Hayes out there from NXT, Braun Breaker from NXT. Carlito came out. We kind of figured he would be in it. Gunther came out 18. Cody came out at 15. Breaker was out there. Omos was in it. Pat McAfee was in it. He was on the announced team. Please bring back Pat McAfee. He is freaking awesome on announcer. I think he's great. He was in it, and he gets in there with Omos and Braun, and climbs over the top rope, climb back in. Climb over the top rope, climb back in. Was going to do a move, and Omos just looked at him, and he's like, nope, see ya. Eliminated himself and left. Back to the announcer, like, dude's huge. Truth came in for the second time. No, he was in the women's too. He came out at 24 in the women's as well. That's what's funny about that as well. He come out at 24. JD McDonough had gotten laid out on the outside. McDonough was 23. He came out for his entrance. Before he got in the ring, he literally got laid out by Braun Breaker. Truth comes out, throws JD in the ring. JD gets eliminated immediately. Truth gets on the apron, tries to reach out for a tag from Dom, trying to make the hot tag to Dom Mysterio. Mysterio finally made the hot tag in a Royal Rumble match, and Truth was in there for a little while. It's like, oh my god. Truth was actually the 20th person to get eliminated. He came out 24, so he was in there for a minute or two. Punk came out 27th, Drew McIntyre 29th. Final 4 was Cody, Gunther, Punk, and Drew McIntyre. Like I said, when the 20th or so person got eliminated, it was nothing but Raw after that. And the last 7 were all Raw. So we had come down the final 2 of Punk and Rhodes. Kind of knew it. I know there's a lot of trash online about where Punk and Rhodes came from. AEW. How Tony Khan fumbled them. Here's all I'm going to say about that. I don't think Tony Khan, quote, fumbled them. I think when Cody left WWE before, he was a mid-card Intercontinental Champion. She was Stardust. He left, went to Ring of Honor, went to New Japan, went to AEW, basically helped build AEW, and put himself in a main event caliber talent. Came back to WWE as a main event caliber talent. His dad did the same exact thing. His dad wrestled in WWF, went to WCW, did backstage and announcing, one of the greatest calls ever on when NWO was born. Dusty was one of the WCW announcers. He came back to WWE and helped build talent in the NXT developmental. So it's been done before, by Rhodes even. If Cody didn't leave initially and come back, he wouldn't be a main event guy. As for Punk 10 years ago walked out of WWE. Just walked out. Was burnt out. He even said in interviews, he lost his love for the business of pro wrestling. WWE cost him, because of the health issues and things he went through, they basically ruined pro wrestling for him. It took him, 8 years to finally come back. AEW brought that back to him, that fire back to him to get in pro wrestling. I think the only reason he went back to WWE, honestly, is to screw over AEW, or to make AEW look bad. I think the only reason he went back. Which, that's human nature. I've left jobs before, and it's like, my goal is to go to their competitor. Never did. I think one time I did. But yeah, everyone does that. I think now that Punk's back in WWE, does he realize, hey, I've made mistakes before? You got to think, he's never main evented a WrestleMania. He probably won't this year either. So, I'm not going to use the word fumble. No, I think circumstances. I think in this part of pro wrestling, we need multiple nationwide, worldwide promotions that are viable. We have 3 right now. We have WWE. They're always going to be the top dog. You can't change that. We have AEW and we have TNA. And we have, if you're thinking around the world, we got AAA that's got a relationship with TNA out of Mexico. We got CMLL who's got a relationship with NWA, with New Japan, who has a relationship with AEW. That's what we need. That's why we know the names of Suzuki Okada, Shinsuke Nakamura, the phenomenal AJ Styles, because of TNA, because of New Japan and stuff. Anyway, Cody Rhodes wins the men's Royal Rumble match, back-to-back. First time back-to-back in over 20 years since the great Stone Cold Steve Austin did it. Sami Zayn coming in at 30, kind of anticlimactic. That's what I thought. I'm like, it was kind of a letdown, this Rumble, because there wasn't that just, oh my God. I was hoping for, we had Jordynne Grace in the Women's Royal Rumble. Could Moose come out? Do we get a John Cena? Do we get a Rock? Could you imagine The Rock coming out 30 and winning and pointing at the WrestleMania sign and challenging Roman? We're probably going to get Cody and Roman. We kind of figured that already. Cody pointed up obviously the WrestleMania sign, which actually looks really cool. And then he also pointed at Roman Reigns up in the box. So we're probably going to get that announcement tomorrow, Monday on Raw. Overall, men's Money in the Bank, I give it 3.5. It's very anticlimactic. Cody winning, cool. Cody won. That's it. Andrade, we knew he was coming back. Other than that, we know looks like we're probably going to get something with Karrion Kross and AOP versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Kross was eliminated at 4, Bobby Lashley at 5. The AOP was out there. Then Kross kind of attacked Bobby Lashley. Street Profits came out. We had a little 6-man melee outside there. Other than that, there was no just holy crap moment in the men's match. On the women's match, though, holy crap. We had a lot of holy crap moments there. Starts out with Natalya, and then the return of Naomi, which we kind of knew she was coming in. It was speculated, but it was, way cool. And to hear Michael Cole say, former TNA Knockouts champion Naomi, I'm like, what? That's nuts. And then at number 3 was Bayley. We're like, okay, cool. Bayley's probably going to win this. And then we had Jordynne Grace, current TNA Knockout champion, in at 5. I was in the Rumble for 11 minutes. Showed her strength. Cole and Graves put her over. Now, before everyone gets their panties in a wad, see TNA, WWE, they're going to relate. No, hold on. they even talked about this. I saw this online. 2021, I think it was. Mickie James, the current Impact Wrestling Knockout Champion at the time, was in the Rumble. So the fact that Jordynne Grace was there, doesn't have a tie with WWE. Maybe it's different, maybe it's not. There was no other signs of anything, of them doing anything, like Moose being in the men's or somebody else being in the men's. But it was really, really awesome to see her in there with... She got eliminated after Asuka, after Kairi Sane, after Natalya, after Tegan Knox. She was in there with Bianca Belair. She was in there with Naomi, Natalya. She worked a lot with Naomi. I noticed that. Yeah, I mean, it was like, wow. I'm watching Jordynne Grace in the Royal Rumble holding the TNA Knockouts title. That was really cool. There's really, beyond that, the only other two kind of shockers besides Naomi and Jordynne Grace was Jade Cargill came out 28. We kind of figured she was going to be in it. She did look strong. Liv Morgan returned at number 30. Kind of anticlimactic for me. It was like, oh, okay. Tiffany Stratton came out at 29. She actually looked really good. I will say about Jade Cargill. There's a lot of people. She was like 15-0, 16-0, 16-1 in AEW. And Trippus came out with comments that they had to teach her how to wrestle. And everybody's been putting AEW down for that. Here's the thing, though. When you're WWE, you're here. You're way up here. When you have the performance center that they do, and you have the sports entertainment part of it, you are different than a pro wrestling company here. I will say, if it wasn't for AEW, WWE wouldn't have had their eye on Jade Cargill. The fans wouldn't know who she was. WWE wasn't looking at Jade Cargill before she went 15-16-0 and won in AEW. No, they weren't. Otherwise, she would have been there already. So don't just the online dynamic with Tony Khan and AEW is just ridiculous. Let the man pimp his shows like he does, which is fine. I'm good with that. It just, yeah. Anyway, one hell of a women's Royal Rumble. Some big shockers there. Jade Cargill looked strong. Tiffany Stratton looked pretty strong. The final four was... Who was the final four? I marked it here. Oh, so the final three was Jade Cargill, Liv Morgan, and Bayley. Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair kind of eliminate each other at the same time. They were 4 and 5. Other than that, I mean, it was good. Bianca is the one that eliminated Jordynne Grace. Valhalla, I saw this online. Somebody said Valhalla ripped off Maxine Taylor. Kind of did, actually, if you know who that is. I ended up giving a women's Royal Rumble match 4-star. It was the best women's Royal Rumble match. So when I do the best effort in history next year, it's going to be number one for the women, right? Definitely. Bayley going on to win it. To me, that was predictable, but she came out 3, so it wasn't as predictable, I thought. So her winning it, we already know the Kabuki Warriors won the tag titles on Friday Night SmackDown. Io Sky has the women's title, so we know Bayley's probably going to go against Rhea for the women's world title and try to get all the titles in Damage Control, which would be kind of neat. But then Dakota Kai will be the only woman not having the title, so that's going to be a weird dynamic there as well. Alright, and then the WWE World Title match, Fatal 4-Way, champion Roman Reigns, defending title versus AJ Styles, Randy Orton, LA Knight. As close as we are to Roman getting the modern day record or beating Hogan, there was no chance in hell he was losing here. I'm sorry, there wasn't. There was a couple big spots. AJ did came off the top rope into an RKO. The super punch for Roman into an RKO. Solo coming out and pulling the referee out at one point, and then having LA Knight, Rainey laying on the apron stacked. You know, he likes to stack them like he did Edge and Daniel Bryan. And then he's looking for AJ, and AJ comes off the top turnbuckle with a flying forearm, and Roman falls on top of the pile. So literally, they're all three stacked. All three of their shoulders are on, so the ref wasn't counting on the mat. AJ pins him. They all kick out at the same time. And then Roman, clean pin on AJ Styles, which was kind of shocking. I don't know why AJ ate the pin there. Actually, I was shocked it wasn't LA Knight. But the crowd was wild for LA Knight. I know there was a rumor of him going against Logan Paul for the U.S. title at Mania, which would be kind of cool. And give him his kind of flowers there. And then we had the U.S. title on the line, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. Like I said in my preview, it's called Wonky, probably a DQ of some sort, and that's exactly how it ended. The match itself was good. There was a lot of storytelling about Logan's going after the wrist, and Kevin Owens not wanting Logan Paul there because he's not one of the boys, and he's not earned his way there and all that. And you could hear him talking and stuff. The fact that Logan's guy Jeff came out, and then you had Theory come out and getting involved, and the referee called for security to come over there, and then Theory hands the brass knucks to Logan Paul. Logan Paul misses Owens with him. Owens takes the brass knuckles from Logan, ends up knocking out with the brass knuckles, leaving him on his hand as he's pinning him. His hand's up. The referee looks up and sees him. After he counts 2, DQs Kevin Owens for that. And then Kevin Owens goes wild and puts Logan Paul through the announce table. So they kind of knew it was going to end wonky. Technically, Logan Paul wins by disqualification. So you kind of still make Kevin Owens look strong, but you kind of keep touting Logan Paul, which was kind of okay. I mean, what's the payoff? Is the payoff LA Knight at Mania? Okay, I'm cool with that. Just like with Gunther, he's got the record. He's held that title for like 500 days, Intercontinental title. Now what? What's the rest of the story? Who's going to beat him and skyrocket their career? Or is it going to be like a Chad Gable? It's like, that don't make any sense. Why? An LA Knight, somebody like that, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes. I'd love to see Carmelo Hayes get it. That would be pretty awesome. And build Carmelo Hayes up. But we'll see where that all goes. Logan Paul retains his U.S. title. Roman retains the world title. Cody Rhodes, your Royal Rumble winner for the men's. More than likely facing Roman Reigns at Mania. And then Bayley, your women's Royal Rumble winner. More than likely going to face Rhea Ripley. What does that do for Punk? What's she do for Mania? Do we get Jimmy and Jey Uso? So still a lot. 76 days, I think this shows. 70 days till Mania. So we still have a lot of time to figure out Mania. I'll probably be doing a WrestleMania prediction kind of thing here in the next week or so. Just kind of my thoughts on what's going on with WWE right now. They announced attendance at 48,045, a Tropicana Field record. It seemed like a pretty good crowd. It looked like it was sold out definitely. But you know what? Right now in 2024, we have 3 big promotions in pro wrestling. We have a bunch of indies. I know some people argue with me on this, but I think right now is the best time for pro wrestling because you can stream it all too. Not only can you stream it all, and I can watch all these indies. I watched 30 independent companies last year. We got the big 3 again, WWE, AEW, TNA. They're all hitting hard right now. They're all got great shows, great matches. I have a Collision I need to go watch. I got 2 GCW shows for the weekend I need to watch, do videos on. WrestleMania weekend is freaking nuts. I never thought that I would ever take off 3 days from work on a WrestleMania weekend just to watch wrestling. Taking off Thursday, Friday, and Monday. And then you got the weekend. So there were so many wrestling shows that weekend. There's going to be so many videos up here on Robert Sports Show. I'm going to watch a show, put a video up, watch the next show kind of deal. I've done it 2 years in a row now. It's been freaking awesome. 2 nights of WrestleMania. Just watched Wrestle Kingdom 3 weeks ago live. So yeah, this is the best time to be a pro wrestling fan. So I can't wait to see what 2024 brings. That is WWE Royal Rumble review. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day at Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.